It is spring break here in Tampa Bay, but there is no spring break for the main event. Checking in for their part-time jobs, Pooh Bear, the Chief, I am Beloved, and we have a special guest. Excited to have Paulie back with us tonight. We have got a lot to cover. So the Bucs bring back some familiar faces. What would you do for $20 million? Girl Scouts with a solid marketing plan. Patrick Ewing, unrecognizable in Madison Square Garden. Best of retirement to Drew Brees. And Paulie's going to drop some knowledge on us about the auto industry. It is time to wake up from your NASCAR coma. We're coming fast and furious tonight. It's 7 p.m. It's Sunday night, and this is the main event.
We back.
What happened?
It went.
What's up, gentlemen?
Oh my gosh, take two.
That is the best bumper on YouTube right there. Bar none.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Bar none.
I gotta take this. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I know there's like no football, baseball's starting to come back, but we're getting back into baseball here in the next couple of weeks. March Madness starts. The Masters isn't that far behind. What a great time of the year.
If we're going to talk basketball, March Madness, I can kind of get into, until my bracket bursts, which is, 1 or 2 rounds into it. But
which is Thursday night, by the way. But anyway.
Yeah, it is Thursday night. Yeah, the 18th it starts. Hey, Beloved, we announced last week that we were having the main event bracket that people can enter. We had some cool prizes that we had for these guys. Now, last week we were saying that we needed you to contact us. This week we got it set up. Tell us, how do we do it?
Yeah, so if you want to take part in the Man Event Bracket Challenge, you just need to go to our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, type in The Man Event in the search bar. You'll find our page. Make sure you like it. The pinned post at the top of that page is the link for the Man Event Bracket Challenge. Now, if you somehow manage to beat the Chief and you win our bracketology game, you are going to get an opportunity to be a guest on this live show on a Sunday night in the future.
Boom.
What an honor that is.
I mean,
by the way, this is show 51.
That's right.
Wow. Next week,
one full year of the Man Event live show.
Wow. Good
Who
job.
would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Good job.
Who would have thunk it? Hey, and we can't forget, since we're on the basketball topic, that we have yet another championship to add to the banner for Tampa Bay. You guys are all fully aware of this, right?
No. What you got?
The University of South Florida women's basketball team just won the AAC. No? Nothing?
No.
I should know that since I pay a small
National
fortune to the University of South Florida. But
you pay a small fortune at the University of South Florida?
Yeah, my daughter's a sophomore there right now. Paying
He's
for room and board and
he's
tuition.
probably never been to a women's basketball game.
No. He's never been to a men's basketball game.
No, that's not true, because at Flagler we did not have football, but we did have basketball. And, the games were fun. I did enjoy college basketball. I knew the guys were playing, small school, so that was fun for me.
Hey, listen, Paulie, you weren't here, but Chief, a couple of weeks ago, he said that he would go to a Toronto Raptors game here in Tampa. So he's going to go to his first ever NBA game pretty soon.
It is interesting with what they're doing up in Canada. But, yeah, that's Cliffy, that'll be a spectacle to behold. Those guys are pretty amazing. Who are they? So Toronto, have they Have they agreed that the whole season's going to be done in Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Paulie, when
Yeah.
you're the defending Stanley Cup champions,
Yes.
when you're the defending American League champions, and when
Yes.
you are Super Bowl champions, you
Yes.
hope some of that championship magic runs off on you.
Yeah.
And so
Just
you
like
just
the
blow
USF
Toronto and you're
women's
like, hey, we're
basketball.
staying in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
the women's basketball team.
there you go. There you go.
Hey, besides basketball, guys, there are other things going on in the world right now. So
There is.
there we go. Let's save this conversation there.
By the way,
man.
so this week, the Georgetown Hoyas, who are coached by Patrick Ewing, play the Big East tournament in Madison Square Garden. and this guy is walking through MSG unrecognizable. Nobody knows who he is.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Whose jersey is in the rafters, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, he made it a point to let everyone know that. So my point is, I saw the interview he had where he mentioned that he was stopped and harassed apparently from going to a seat or wherever he was headed. And I did watch basketball back in the 80s and 90s when Patrick was playing. He had a very identifiable look to him, aside from the fact that he's 7'3". But he had the widow's peak, right? That was kind of his calling card. People saw the widow's peak, and you knew that was Michael Jordan or Patrick Ewing. But he doesn't have that in ball-headed and gray. So I kind of get why maybe somebody did recognize him, but I mean, still, if you see somebody that's 7 foot plus and probably in Georgetown gear, he's somebody.
Yeah, but hey, Spike Lee had the same trouble. Listen, it's changed hands. Management groups changed hands. Spike Lee had a specific entrance for years and years and years, and all of a sudden, same thing happened. They changed hands, and Spike Lee wanted to give his season tickets back and all that. So, but hey, Ewing is a very recognized.
He ought to want to give them back just because they're the Knicks.
Well, there's that too. But yeah.
I feel like he's a little self-entitled at this point. I know he's the head coach at Georgetown for the women's team, right? I think. And, even I know who Patrick Ewing is, okay? But the fact is that, it's not his building. He doesn't own the building. He doesn't have a stake in it. Yeah, okay, he was a player there, 20 years ago. I don't know, man. I think he feels a little self-important.
I don't know. I would argue he's the most recognizable Knick.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, he's the only Knick I can think of, so okay, I'm not going to argue that.
And his jersey is hanging in the rafters.
Yeah, there is that little piece of information. Yes,
but he kind of
well if you walked into him at the Publix there on Bloomingdale.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I'm saying, I don't think you instantly recognize him as doing. I think you see him, the 7 foot tall behemoth, but without the widow's peak, I don't think you recognize him.
Hey, think about this too. Every porter and guy that worked security when he was in college and in the NBA, they're retired now. Their kids are working as porters.
Listen, Paulie, I totally get that. None of these kids probably know who Patrick Ewing is.
No, sad.
All right,
no. So, Chief, I got to ask you a question.
All right, you.
I know you have an opinion about this, but the NCAA women's tournament is also kicking off.
Yes,
and I believe it's California Baptist women's basketball went 24-0, didn't lose a single game all season, regular season, or the tournament. They are out of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I understand the rules behind it. They were Division II school. Now they're Division I. They've only been Division I for 3 years. The rules state you got to be 4. I get all that, but here's the fact of the matter is your best team isn't going to be represented in the tournament. Not because they're being disciplined, not because they broke, some sort of rule, just because they got too good too fast. It sounds like a shady rule to me. Like you're afraid some D2 school is going to come up and start stomping. I don't get the reason for that rule, and I think the tournament suffers because of it.
It is the NCAA, buddy. That's their rule, and they are going to get to go to the NIT, Cliff. So there is a Silver
Oh, the
lining.
NIT.
Oh man, you are
Dude,
really.
could you imagine? Did you imagine if they don't win the NIT tournament though?
They won't.
Well, no.
I don't know. It's worth following. So we said at the beginning of the show, we asked the question, what would you do for $20 million?
Yeah.
So, Chief, there's a story out here this week about somebody doing a pretty interesting thing in an effort to earn $20 million. Can you fill us in?
I can. So this story comes to us from Australia, where this woman has embezzled $20 million, and then she goes missing. They can't find her anywhere until her foot shows up. Okay, her foot shows up on the next to a body of water, and the working theory on this right now is that she cut off her foot in an attempt to fake her own death. So my question is, what would you be willing to cut off for $20 million?
Do I have to cut something? Like, can't I like do something else in an effort to earn $20 million? Why is it got to be cutting something off?
Well, I mean, that's what she did. She apparently, they believe that she cut her foot off. So you got to cut something off. I would like to cut my kids off, from their.
Oh, that sounds worse than it is.
So my daughter comes home last night. My daughter comes home from college last night, okay? And we were talking about the importance of getting a credit card. And she's about to turn 20, and she says, "Daddy, I have two. How many do I need?" And I said, "You have two credit cards?" She goes, "Yeah, I've got this one, and it's not a credit card, it's a debit card." And then she says, "I've got this one that you gave me." Well, the one I gave her has, that was for emergency funds only. And I said, No, you don't have a credit card. That's my credit card. That's my card. You're an I had to explain the difference. I said, you're an authorized user on that card. You don't have a card yet. You need to get your own card. So, cutting them off, I wouldn't be too bad. But hey, I'd be willing for $20 million. I'd definitely be willing to cut a pinky off. Maybe the left-handed pinky for guaranteed.
Listen,
right-handed pinky, maybe.
Here you go. I got it.
All right.
For $20 million, I'll cut my hair.
God, man. This delay's killing me with Pooh Bear because he just said that. I mean, it was.
Wow.
Paulie, help us out, man. What are you going to cut off for $20 million?
Ooh.
Would you cut a foot? Would you follow her lead?
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be my plant leg since I'm still a pretty good kicker, or the right hand. But man, that's $20 million.
Can you kick a football? Can you kick a football? You think you could kick a field goal?
Like
say 30, 40-yarder, would it be a no-doubter?
You're setting me up for this thing. I mean, hell,
I'm just saying.
At 50 years old and not hell no, I couldn't kick a field goal.
No, okay, just wondering.
No.
Some people think they can still kick footballs here, man. So
yeah, some people.
Yeah, there'll be a reckoning on that at some point.
Yeah.
So
hey, he was a high school All-American soccer player too. You'd think he could still kick a.
You just gave me some accolades I didn't earn, but I appreciate the faith in me, though.
Yeah,
$20 million. Let's get back on task.
If you're missing a foot and now you have $20 million, so you're essentially wheelchair for the rest of your life, or you have to have some sort of prosthetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, if you've got a prosthetic, I don't think a foot is the best scenario. I think you need to kind of come up to the next joint, which is the knee. So now you're talking about removing a little bit more than just a foot to have a quality prosthetic. I don't know. Now we're itching into I'm not sure territory.
You're really analyzing this.
Oh, he's going to go.
Well,
listen. Said he's willing to go more than a foot. He's willing to go full lower leg.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say I was willing to. I was saying you're going to have to in order to have a fulfilled life and have some sort of some mobility. So enjoy your 20 minutes.
So my problem with cutting the foot off is that now you're the millionaire, with the prosthetic. I think you're going to be identifiable, because you change your hair color, stuff like that, but there are just not that many people walking around with a fake leg.
No pun intended. Yeah.
Well, oh my gosh, yes. So nice. With a boatload of money.
So are we committing the crime and cutting the foot off? Or do I just get $20 million for cutting something off?
$20 million for cutting something off.
Yeah, so therefore I don't have to worry about hiding, or being a man on the run. I can just enjoy my life with one less foot
Or on the
or
high.
whatever appendage.
He's not running that much anymore, but
Right.
Yeah, I got some questions though. So this person embezzled $20 million.
Yep.
Like, is it money in their bank account? Is it cash? Because like you can cut off your foot and pretend like you're dead, but somehow you still have to make a withdrawal of that $20 million. Like what?
So I don't
what
know
is
that
it?
she. I saw my best guess is she didn't think this through all the way. I think that the cutting off the foot was kind of a panic move. Yeah. I didn't think she sat there and thought, they're closing in on me. Whoops, they caught me. I better do something. That was a panic move. So, I don't know that she actually, planned that far ahead. I think she figured out a way to get the money out. I don't know how she plans on, getting the money, out of the other company where she embezzled from. I don't know if she actually figured out how she's going to make it clean so it's usable and not from behind bars.
I got you. Well, listen, here's the thing. We're interested to see what you would cut off for $20 million. So if you're watching the show right now, comment here, there on YouTube or on Facebook. We would love to hear, what would you cut off for $20 million? Sounds like the Chief was willing to cut off his kids financially. I'm willing to cut my hair. Pooh Bear's willing to go half a foot, half of a leg.
Yeah.
So I didn't say that, but maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
before
before we
money
go
on the
further,
table.
I just recognized something that I got to point out. So a couple of weeks ago, we're preparing for the Super Bowl, and we decide that we're going to get matching outfits for the Super Bowl, matching hoodies and hats.
I know where you're going with this.
Right. So this guy, Pooh Bear, we're at Walmart, we're looking through stuff. He pulls a hoodie off the shelf and he goes, "Hey guys, I think Chrissy would like this one." He's wearing that hoodie right now.
That's it. That's it. You're right. I see it.
I knew where you're going as soon as you said.
Oh my gosh.
It's cold up here. If you don't know, I'm on location. I'm in the nation's capital in DC. It's a little cooler than it is in Tampa, Florida. But yeah, so I had a problem with winter gear. This is something I own. It's winter gear. It's comfortable. It fits nice. It feels good. Makes me feel a little younger.
Then your wife probably.
And it was what, $7? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, $7.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Hey,
so let us know.
Another man event observation. The two guys on this show tonight with the most hair are wearing hats, and the two guys on this show with no hair are not wearing hats. So
you got to go. I'm proud, man. You can't go.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I am what I am.
I had to wear my recently delivered Buccaneers.
Oh, raise the
There you go.
I like it. Yeah.
Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
I had to represent up here in DC because all they have is the Washington football team, and I don't think they're too proud of their team right now.
Yeah.
So I had to show them what a real fan's like.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah, who they cut Alex Smith, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, how about that?
Jerks. What a bunch of jerks.
I mean, it's a
Nah,
feel-good
man, I don't
story,
think so.
but they don't have anything else. They cut Haskins.
They gave him the chance to come back. They gave him the whole story to return. He started, he played, threw a touchdown.
He led them to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, they were there already. They're well on their way when he came in. So
Wow. Alex Smith hater.
Yeah.
The Chief. All right, so let's move on. So segueing right into football. So a lot of football news this week, specifically here in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers made some moves to secure some returning faces. What do you guys think about the Tom Brady extension?
Yes.
As I understand the Tom Brady extension is that he restructured his contract and somehow it creates cap space for the Bucs. And I don't think he's going to play till he's 45 years old. I think he's at this point, he's in it for another ring. He doesn't need the money. What he wants is the stats. He wants the rings. He wants to be the legend of all, the GOAT for all time. Yeah. And he's willing to give up some cash for that. Yeah.
Well, and that's why there's a bunch of memes been going around about how, that's why Tom Brady keeps winning Super Bowls, because he's not looking to get that $40 million Deshaun Watson contract. he understands that the team is more than just himself, and that in order to have quality receivers like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, you have to have that cap space to be able to afford those guys. He's already made his money. I think his wife still makes more money than he does anyway. So, it's not always about the money. Plus his endorsement deals, his TB12 business he has on the side. Guy makes plenty of money. He fully understands. He gets it. This is why he's going to win at least number 8.
So you think in the next 2 seasons the Buccaneers get another title? I like the way you think, Pooh Bear. I would take one out of the next 2.
I need another hat. I need one that says 3.
I think hey, things just got easier to win the NFC South, guys.
Yeah, with Drew Brees retiring. Yeah,
Drew Brees retired, and so who does that leave him with? I mean, Taysom Hill, they're going to have a tight end as quarterback, or Jamies Winston.
That's Jameis now. That's Winston.
Well, Jameis isn't even under contract.
No, he's not yet. But
Jameis is a free agent. But listen, I think this is a good landing spot for Deshaun Watson. But Pooh Bear, you told us today they don't have the money.
No, they're way over the cap, and that's why Taysom Hill restructured his deal in order to free up some more money. But they're probably going to lose Michael Thomas. They've already cut Quan Alexander or released Quan Alexander. I think they released tight end as well. So you're seeing the Chiefs are doing it too. The Chiefs just dropped half their offensive linemen because of cap space.
Yeah,
this year,
Mahomes' contract.
Right, the cap came down because of there was no ticket sale last year, so they lost money. So they're bringing the cap down. And these teams that were already in cap trouble anyway are just now in worse cap trouble. And Kansas City and New Orleans are both one of those.
Hey,
I've got an idea. Go ahead, Chief. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to point out that last week we had a lively discussion about who we thought should receive the franchise tag for the Buccaneers, and it was really Godwin or Lavonte David, and I don't know that we thought that the Bucs were going to be able to keep both. I say congratulations to the Buccaneers. They obviously listened to me and not Javi, who was promoting for David, but they did find a way to keep both, and that is important. I mentioned the timing with your quarterback and your receivers, super important. David, the leader, he's making the adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. Man, things are exciting in Tampa Bay for next year. I cannot wait for
and September. That probably makes Shaq Barrett the odd man out.
Which is the guy I've said all along we could do without if we have to.
And I think that's why Tom restructured his deal, because Gronkowski also mentioned this week that he would be coming back. He didn't specifically say the Buccaneers. He just said he would be coming back to play football. We're assuming he means the Buccaneers. But I think that's
at this point.
Right, but I think that's why Tom restructured his deal, to make room for people like Shaq Barrett, because he knows they still have to sign Ndamukong. Still needs to sign. Sorry, there was another. I think it was Golson, another defensive lineman that's going to be cut loose if they don't do that.
Well, Pooh Bear, last week we actually mentioned you weren't. I want to know your thoughts on Gerald McCoy coming here, the possibility of him coming here. Does that excite you, or do you think that
I was screaming? I was screaming at my phone watching that. I'm like, "Are you? This guy
never
has
mind,
been
never mind. It was a
injured.
bad question. I take it back. Let's not go there.
Injured. He just posted on Instagram yesterday that the doctors cleared him to start workout activities again. I still don't believe that he's going to have it. But here's the other thing. The Bucs play a 3-4 now with the top Bulls defense. That means that Gerald McCoy, who plays a 3 technique, which basically no tackle, is where Vita Vea plays. So you're going to boot out Vita Vea for Gerald McCoy?
No, we're not going to boot him out. I'm just saying these big guys need breathers, and and I don't think McCoy can play full time anyway. So it gives us a chance, to replace him instead of with Nunez Roches or McClendon, something like that. I really feel that Gerald McCoy is a better option than either one of those.
I could see that at a reduced rate play at a backup capacity. Yeah, I'm on with that. But to me, Vita Vea is your star defensive tackle at this point, and you do not want to take him off the field except for the occasional breather.
Yeah. And by the way, I know that we play a 3-4 defense. We used to play a 4-3 defense, and I watch the defense. Having been played defense, that's where I like to watch the game. but nobody really plays a 3-4 defense anymore. There's always a minimum 4 guys on that defensive line. It's just a matter of, are they 300 pounders or are they 260 pounders? That's really the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Edge rusher. Listen, going back to the New Orleans situation here a second. I have the solution for their quarterback challenge.
All right.
Fitzmagic.
Oof.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Look, you guys know I like Fitzmagic, man. I do not want to see him against us.
They can get him cheap.
I'm sure they can.
He's still got gas in the tank.
Yeah. He's a quality quarterback in a good team. That guy's dangerous.
Yeah.
I
think so.
We do not want to see him in the NFC South.
No, so you're.
How about Cam Newton re-signing with the Patriots?
Did Drew resign? Say that again.
Cam re-signed. He signed a 1-year deal with the Patriots this week.
Yeah.
That tells me that there's no other quarterbacks out there. That's what that tells me.
There's rumors that Russell Wilson is leaving Seattle. You got Deshaun Watson already saying that he wants out. Listen, I think Alex Smith is worth a shot. If you need a quarterback and you don't have the cash and you need a couple of rebuilding years, Alex Smith is a viable. There's quarterbacks out there. Look at the free agent list for quarterbacks for this season. There's plenty to pick from.
Yeah.
All right.
Plenty to pick from. I'm grateful. I mean, I'm glad that we're able to keep Godwin here. I think we talked about last week. We all expected them to make that move. I don't know that giving him the franchise tag was the best move. I thought there could have been. We ended up signing Lavonte David in the end, but I think Shaq Barrett is an integral part. There were hundreds of wide receivers out there, literally.
Right.
I think to spend $16 million on Chris Godwin, I'm not saying he's not worth it, but there could have been some other moves made there.
Hey, it worked for
I
the
agree.
Cowboys.
And that was.
Go ahead, Pooh Bear.
What about the Cowboys? No, about the Cowboys?
Cowboys, and Dak got his money, so.
Yeah. No, I was saying that last week too when I was watching the show was that if the free agents were to go, I think Chris Godwin would have been the one to for the Buccaneers to be with because of the fact that the wide receiver free agent market is much better. I think Golden Tate was released recently. Going to have a crop of receivers that maybe not clearly aren't as good as Godwin, but good enough to play in that role, especially if you can maintain it. Antonio Brown, you've got him, you've got Evans, you still have Scott Miller, you've got Pat Johnson coming on. You may not have Mickens, who was just arrested this week.
Oh, what was he arrested for?
After he just signed a deal.
Yeah, he was arrested for thinking. Sorry, you don't remember Love? You don't remember B Love?
No.
It was something silly like I think weapons possession here in a pullover.
Something
stupid. So it's probably not going to be a big deal. Either way, it made news.
All right. So, I think that the fight in the NFC South just got a little bit easier. We wish the best of luck to Mr. Drew Brees. That's a long time career with that team. The guy's got a pretty historic career. But, speaking of fights, did you guys see the fight break out of Bath and Body Works?
Yes. Dude, that was a great fight. It hit everything that you were looking for in a good fight. It had a quick takedown. We had it was almost tag team style with the Bath and Body Works employees. They were jumping in, on each other, tagging in and tagging out. So I had this thought about that Bath and Body Works fight because that's not really where you expect to find a pop-up fight in the mall. So I was wondering, where else do you want to see a pop-up fight in the mall take place? I went with food court right away. I was like, oh my gosh, food court. How about the guys from Subway taking on the guys from Chick-fil-A?
Oh wow! I think the guys from Chick-fil-A turned the other cheek.
Wow!
And they're only 6 days a week.
But I mean, listen, obviously, oh, doggone it. Victoria's Secret's fight. That would be, you can sell tickets to that one.
Yeah.
The old age setting in there on the Chief.
Your desire to see the fight is based on the clientele or based on the store and the availability of weapons and merchandise to use as a weapon.
So Pooh Bear's going Dick's Sporting Goods, apparently.
Well,
he's like, there's weapons.
I'm just thinking if I'm going to
pro
fight,
shop, he's going
right.
pro shop.
Right?
Hey, my question is, who goes to the mall anymore?
That's what I was trying to think of. What kind of stores in the mall? And
the restaurants are still there, So, but we see a fight in Dick's Sporting Goods. Someone's losing a foot. I guarantee it. Maybe a whole leg.
And they won't get 20 million.
And they won't be worth 20 million. Yeah.
And they won't get 20 million.
Did anybody catch why the fight broke out?
Yeah, it was a cutting in line issue. The woman.
It was basically two Karens.
Yeah, well, It was a store employee telling the girl that she had to get out of line, and I don't know if they're like, you know how it is when your daughter's in line and then you come walking in possibly, or maybe she was a daughter and her mother was holding. I don't know. A middle-aged woman looked to me, so I don't really know what the relationship was. But I don't know. Somehow she wound up in the front of the line and wasn't about to leave, and so the girl said, "All right." Like I guess she's checkout/bouncer at Bath and Body Works.
There you go. So I add that to your resume. I watched the video. I looked at it earlier today, and I found it interesting that we don't see the build up to what happened. We just see the fight. Mm-hmm. But when the customer gets on the ground, she is immediately jumped on by like 4 Bath and Body Works employees. Yeah. It wasn't just enough for one. They were ruining this woman's day.
How about the guy who comes in, and he's really not doing much. He just kind of keeps pointing. Hey, you go over here, like, but no one's listening to him.
Yeah.
Well, I just read a little blurb. Of course, obviously, it has to do. Of course, you guys are wide open in Florida. Us up here with Governor Roy, but somebody didn't have a mask on, and somebody was asked to put a mask on, and of course, that's kind of how it escalated. But yeah, the guy that actually jumped on her was, a store employee, and they told him to get out. But anyway, that was that's real special, real special.
Yeah, it's odd traveling like this and seeing the different rules that are in place for different places. Because in Florida, that's as wide open as we are, and our numbers are comparable to other places like DC, where it's locked down. There's nothing open.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, are you guys? Is the restaurant open down there?
The restaurants in DC are at 5% capacity, I've heard, and the ones in Virginia and in Maryland, they're a little different. But the city of DC, the district, is just locked down.
Wow.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. I was going to send you to Old Ebbitt's Grill. It's like real close to the White House. It's a great place to catch some food and good cocktails. But I traveled this week. I went down to South Florida, Miami area, stayed at the same hotel for 4 days, and didn't get housekeeping one day while I was there. I think that's one of the big things to me. Like it's like ruined the hotel experience, right?
You know how bougie you sound right now.
Oh God!
It is. You mentioned this, right? But no,
you mentioned it. You mentioned it last week too, and I was going, "Oh my God, she looks so unrelatable at this point." And there you go again.
Very relatable. It's spring break, right? People are staying in hotels. They want housekeeping. The restaurants in the hotel aren't open. I couldn't even get breakfast in the morning.
Mm.
Oh, well, yeah, we went to a CVS and bought our own.
That's what I did. I ended up going to Publix. I bought some protein shakes, put them in the refrigerator. That's what I drank or had for breakfast every morning. But it's crazy. This is Florida. As you were just saying, it's a lot different.
It's Miami, so really it's just North Cuba.
Well, you guys are probably having the same problem down there that we're having up here. The service industry with all of and I won't get too political here, but the service industry, with all of the stimulus and everything going on, there's nobody to work in the hotels level. There's nobody to work in the restaurants. There's nobody to work in the car washes and the grocery stores. I mean, it's they're making more money staying home. It's probably why you didn't.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case for us.
I haven't seen that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think our restaurants are almost at full capacity.
Yeah.
I think there's some certain things. I mean, like, I think, like a bowling alley is open, but I think people are cautious. Like, do you want to go touch a bowling ball that everybody else has had their hands on? Stuff like that. I think people are, although they might be open, people might be staying away from it. But, Polly, I'd be interested just kind of segueing, like, how is this affecting your business?
Well, for us, what we've seen just since the middle of February, and every manufacturer, I don't care whose emblem's on the car, had a supply chain issue, whether it was computer chips or in our case, we've redesigned a couple models. Carbon fiber, you wouldn't think that, carbon fiber is a big deal, but carbon fiber is a huge deal. Everybody puts it on their cars. We've started ramping up production, and you've got 13, 14 months of people that have saved, people that buy my cars, people that have saved all this money. And we are seeing, like, for the month of February, which is typically not a great month, first quarter after our huge December sales event, et cetera, typically first quarter is light regardless of what your inventory is. But, man, they came out of the woodwork, and we sold, if we sold 120 new cars, a typical February, you're going to do 50% cash and 50% lease or finance. We sold over 60% straight cash buyers. And I mean, you're talking about the average ticket between $50,000 and $60,000 with special financing. Lexus has done the same thing like every other manufacturer. And since I've been in the business, we've never offered 0% financing on a new car. And we have a ton of people that are taking advantage of 0 and 1.9 and stuff like that.
Why wouldn't you? It's practically free money.
Free money.
Cash is king. Cash is king, right? I can give back the car whenever I want.
Right.
If I got the $60,000 in the bank, you never know when you're going to need that. I mean, truthfully, paying cash for a car with 0% financing is just dumb. Well,
I mean, you're also talking about 70 and 80-year-olds that's all they've ever done. And even though, but even a guy that's still working or whatever, I mean, a guy that I can easily convert from a cash buyer to maybe a lease customer or something else, they're just stroking checks for cars. I mean, it's crazy. And a lot of that, again, is pent up. I mean, nobody's done anything, especially up here, for the last 13 or 14 months. I mean, it's volume's up, the numbers are up. I mean, and it's crazy.
Paul, I got a question for you. I want to know, what is the make or break feature on a car these days that, somebody says it's not on there, I don't want it. I can't buy that car.
Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Wow.
For your older guests, it's the lane keep assist, lane departure. So if you're running up, I-75 at 75 miles an hour, if the car bumps against the center lane or bumps against the right lane, the car will physically walk itself back into the middle of the lane. If a car doesn't have that, then they're going to move to the next brand or model that does.
Wow. I don't think I would like that. I mean, how does it know the difference between when I'm going to pass somebody, and take the lane, or, I've just started, I'm not paying attention, I'm just drifting over.
Use your blinker.
Artificial intelligence, my man.
Yes.
The car learns how you drive.
Yes.
Huh, that's crazy.
Right, Polly?
Yeah. It is. And it's all regulated by the blinker. But Cliffy, to your point, you can override that whole system. You can also.
Oh, I can. I can.
It's possible, but whether or not you can, it's a different story.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's that. And for the young people, the millennials and the up to the 35-year-olds, if it doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you're not.
Do your cars have that massive screen in them now? I mean, 4x4 was like the standard for a long time, and now then they went 4x6. But now I see them, the size of a full size. What do you call those things? Not laptops.
iPad.
iPad. Thank you.
They're bigger than that now.
Yeah, the like my luxury, our flagship car, the screen is 24 inches wide by 8 inches tall. I mean, it covers the whole second half of the dash.
Holy smokes!
And it's multi-informational. I mean, they've figured out ways you can watch movies on the thing. You're not supposed to be able to do that, but yeah, I mean, but every manufacturer's doing that.
Oh, I've had my truck now for 6 years, and I found a new feature on it just last week.
That is not surprising.
Yeah.
Nope, not at all.
I can press a button where it says weather, and it'll show me the map of the weather. It shows me like where the front is and where it's coming to, which, I mean, I can do on my phone. I didn't know my truck could do it, though. Who knows what else this thing can do?
Yeah, that's a function of your Sirius XM or whatever, if you're using Sirius or XM or whoever, and it's their nav weather traffic. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. Yep.
Wow. So, Polly, where are all these? I mean, all we hear all over the news that, the economy isn't great. New round of stimulus comes out this week. Where are all these people getting money to spend $60,000 to $70,000 cash on a car at a rate higher than you've ever seen?
I think that the people that are spending the money have had the money, and they haven't had anything to spend their money on. So, I mean, if you look at the Wall Street and you read everything, I mean, these people have bankrolled a lot of money. And, I'm not talking about, your average, whatever your definition of middle class is. I'm talking about upper middle class and, wealthy folks who are used to spending a certain amount of money anyway. That money is out there.
Yeah. So to some degree, a lot of the economics are based on probably the industry people are in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And up here, there's still a ton going on. I mean, and again, I think most of it is that pent up spending. People have not been out up here for 13 months. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm getting a beep somewhere on the line.
Where's that beep coming from?
I don't know.
Yeah, muted. That's no.
It might be the NSA that heard what we were talking about next, and they're already got on our line here, getting ready to take us down. If I get bumped off, guys, it's don't come looking for me. Well, if you find a foot, I'm actually dead. So, hey, by the way, Jaden Minkins was arrested for a felony weapons charge. It doesn't actually say what it was, but it was it's not like a misdemeanor. It's a felony charge out of Los Angeles.
No, I think it was something. He had it in his car. He was pulled over for speeding or something, and whatever state he was in didn't have reciprocity for his concealed carry or something. So, like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It sounds like something that can happen to a lot of us, but yeah.
So it says the police found a concealed firearm in his car during a traffic stop. So
there you go. And I think it was in California.
It was in California. It was in Los Angeles. Are they searching his car at a traffic stop? I don't understand. If it's concealed, what's the deal there?
Did you say it was in California? It was Los Angeles?
I said it was in California. It was in Los Angeles. I'm agreeing with both.
Yeah, so gotcha. So so they don't. I'm guessing they don't allow for wherever he had it, if it was concealed or not. If they saw it, an accidental exposure. I'm guessing that's what they dinged him on.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, here's I just took a concealed carry class so that I could get my license for concealed carry. And one of the things I learned from that was that it's not transferable. Like there are some states that have laws against concealed carry. So as somebody who carries, you would need to make sure, depending on the state that you're in, what their carry laws are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think
what you'll find is that's
where a lot of people make mistakes.
Right. Well, what you'll find is that you start to forget. So you get comfortable with carrying, whether it be on your person or your vehicle, and that I almost carried a pocket knife to the airport yesterday. because I'm so used to carrying my pocket knife with me. So that would have been a major mistake. I would have lost the pocket knife. I would have had it thrown away. So you get comfortable with having your pistol on you, or whatever. That's probably what happened. I don't think there was any ill intent or malicious doing going on.
Yeah,
that in California.
Right.
California just sucks.
Can I circle back around to Polly for just one more question?
Yes, of course.
Maybe two more questions.
Sure.
Polly, how is gas prices right now affecting y'all?
How is what affecting us?
The rise in gas fuel.
Oh. So, again, not to jump on one side of the political line or the other. Every manufacturer has to follow certain EPA guidelines. And typically, we had to do things like change a V8 to a twin turbo V6. But most of our bread and butter cars burn regular gas. So, and typically, again, I don't deal in the general buyer, the masses. So typically my customer, now granted, people grumble a little bit like everything, and again, not to make it political, but our cars are going to get 25, 28 miles to the gallon. As long as it doesn't go to $4.50, $5 a gallon, it will not affect not only my
auto
business,
sales,
the typical car business.
So did you just say that you run regular gas? Like I run premium in my vehicle.
Which
you're saying your cars are made to run regular unleaded, like 87 octane.
Yes, everything except for the big sedan and the biggest V8 engine. We are tuned for regular gas. Yes.
Interesting. So I used to have you. Is it okay if I say what model you represent?
Yeah.
All right. So you work with Lexus, which I used to have.
Yeah.
You're telling me I didn't have to run premium in that thing?
In the 06 ES that you had, yes, you did.
Okay. Okay. I was about to get upset.
So yes, in that model until 2010, until they changed the engine to the 3.5 liter V6, it was recommended that you put at least 91 octane in your car.
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing is Polly, by the way, knew the year and the make of that car. And I've never told him.
That's awesome.
I remember we pull up to the boat dock one day. We're going boating, which that's a pretty good after story.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I get on the boat and Polly goes, "Hey man, is that a blah 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 you're driving?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, that was the night I puked down the side of Cliff's truck. But again, that's another story for another time. So,
was that the night that we were coming in and we were just like huge waves?
Yes.
And we were all soaking wet. Yeah. So your sea legs weren't ready.
Well, I actually, typically the sea legs were fine. I think I got some rough shrimp over there. And, we were going on a cruise the next day. And we had to literally flat lie to the cruise people because poor Cliff was a damn trooper. And it wasn't just a little bit of puke either. It was.
The truck was brand new. That's when it happened. The truck was brand spanking new, man.
There you go. So it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was. And so the next morning, it was. I woke up and we were going to Orlando and going to the port and the Cape, and it was brutal. Because, they ask you those questions, have you been sick or feeling sick the last 24, 48 hours? And I was like, nope, just fine. Barely walked, but I was fine.
That's fine.
Man, that was we went out that day on absolute glass seas.
Yes. And
came back that day just.
Yes.
It was crazy. Never in danger, but it was crazy.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Right.
Yeah. So, listen, you guys, did you see this week about the Biden family and their dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
The dog bit a Secret Service agent, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, nipped at him.
I don't know. I don't know if it actually got teeth on them, but apparently the dogs were a little bit aggressive.
Dude,
they were rescue dogs.
I'm going with the conspiracy theory on this one, and that's the dogs are a thing in the White House now. You got to have a dog. So the Bidens brought in these 2 German Shepherds, but they're not really dog people. So, they sent them home. Well, by home, they mean, back away wherever they got them from. They don't actually mean their home. So I don't think they're their dogs.
I don't know. So you're saying that like they never actually came to the White House.
No, they were at the White House. They were 2 German Shepherds at the White House, but they didn't belong to the Bidens. They were just doing it for the photo op because every president since Reagan has had a dog.
Okay.
So
except Trump. Trump didn't have a dog, and the reason he didn't have a dog is he said it wouldn't be authentic.
Well, there you go.
Because they're not. I guess him and Melania are not dog people.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, it's fake. By the way,
fake dog.
What the chief just shared was absolutely like he just made that crap up. So like before people start blowing us up,
fake
he
dog
made that
story.
joke. Here's what I thought was funny. Do you know that the first dogs have a Twitter handle?
Get out of here.
It's at the first dogs. The former president of the United States doesn't have Twitter.
Oh, he's been banned.
Dogs have a Twitter account.
The dogs have an account. Wow. I wonder what they say.
So,
and it's like an official Twitter.
well, that's how I know that Twitter's done. Once they have dogs start tweeting, and people find, what are you doing? Right? Silly. So these were apparently rescue dogs from a shelter, which, I always have a problem with people that rescue large dogs, especially if they're going to have children or other people, because there's that danger that you don't know what this dog's been through during its life, what brought it to being a rescue dog. Most of the time, sometimes you do. But, they're instinctual animals. They're going to react if they feel threatened or something in their past, where they start to feel like they're in a similar situation where they had a fight or flight kind of mentality. So, large rescue dogs just don't make sense when you're going to put them around people. And we heard a lot about the rescue dogs at first when they got them, but we don't hear a whole lot now that they're gone, that they, acted up and bit of Secret Service agent.
Listen, that's what dogs do.
Oh, I agree.
Right. That's what dogs do.
Chief,
you're about to say something.
He's got a man-eating rescue dog at his house these days.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no. That is not a rescue dog. That is a foo-foo dog.
Has the dog done anything to the couch yet?
Dogs.
No, he has not done anything to the couch illegal or upsetting. He's still learning how to pee outside. He's gotten the hang of pooping outside quite well, but peeing outside has been a problem.
Whose job is it to pick up the poop in the Pooh Bear household?
Whose job is it, or who does it?
Two
different questions.
Yeah, you're right.
Those are 2 different questions. I think what you want to know is who's actually doing it, and that'd be the same person who cuts the grass.
I'm sorry
I
to
can
hear
watch
that.
what I say. There's people in my periphery watching me.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, we'll keep them on shot. All right. So last thing, and we'll get on with the night. So we were talking earlier about a story. I think it's a couple of years old. I don't know if it's happened recently, but Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies. There we go.
Hey, hold on, B-Love. But hey, I know we're supposed to finish the story on the Girl Scout. Let's finish the show on the Girl Scout Cookie Day. But did you know that today is Pie Day? 3/14.
It is Pie Day.
It's Pie Day. So can we talk about pie instead?
God, yes.
Let's talk about, because I have 2 questions about pie. Number 1, what's your favorite pie? Number 2, is chocolate silk, is that pie? I mean, is it just anything in a crust? Is that pie, or is that just pudding?
Yes, if it's got a crust, yeah. I think chocolate silk is a pie.
So you think
you're talking about the ones from Village Inn?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
How many pies am I allowed to pick as my favorite pie?
Yes, that's pie.
Okay, so 2 pies.
2 pies.
2 pies.
Cliffy?
Okay.
2 pies.
Mine.
Without a doubt, my first selection is pumpkin pie.
Okay. I want to take a tally here, man. We got 1 vote for pumpkin. All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll let somebody else go.
Well, listen, not to steal a line from a famous movie, but there's nothing better than warm apple pie.
Pooh Bear, what you got, man?
Wow. I like pumpkin as well, but I'm going to go with key lime pie as my favorite.
Ooh, key lime.
Ooh,
Being
yes.
a Florida boy.
That would probably be my second.
And there's actually there's a specific key lime pie that is my favorite as far as the manufacturer, and that would be my Blue Heaven down in Key West. They bring a slice of key lime pie that is, I'm not kidding, it's at least a foot tall with the meringue. It's amazing.
Hold on, boys.
Man,
Chief, what do you got?
He's going to get pie.
He's going to go get some pie, I guarantee it. So my favorite pie of all time is the apple pie with a Dutch crumb toss. Look at that, man. What's he got there?
There is
key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
That's not Blue Heaven key lime pie, but that looks pretty good.
Well, it's not Blue Heaven, but it is key lime pie.
That looks pretty good, Paulie.
My second favorite pie is going to be my mom's pumpkin pie, which, if you remember a few months ago, I discovered the recipe for, and it's really not as hard as she made it seem. So I was a little disappointed about that, but apple and pumpkin. So
yeah, I'd have to go key lime.
But yet you won't share the recipe for Mom Bassett's baked beans with anybody yet. So I'm still.
Javi has it. Chef Javi has it.
Come on, man! Yep. No, why would you tell him that?
Chef Javi has it. And so far, Chef Javi, man, he's kept it tight.
Yeah.
How close is he, Cliffy?
I've never actually had him from Javi. So, but I mean, he's a good cook. I'm sure that he doctors him. He tries to add like some beef and stuff in there, which I have tried in the past and doesn't work. So, nah.
Listen, next week is show 52.
Yes.
Boom.
1 year.
1 full year.
1 year. Right.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Here's one thing I'll say. I forget what I was going to say. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We should do a show dedicated to like our favorite fast foods.
Ooh. Oh, we did talk about that.
Do you know who we would have to have on the show as a guest, though?
Yes, I do. Someone who's in Key West right now?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That would be a great show. We could do a whole segment on just like, but you would have to go through like all of them. Taco Bell, Arby's, you'd have to hit them all.
Here's what I think we should do, and this is not an original idea. I've seen Dave Portnoy do it. I think Dude Perfect's done it, kind of thing, where we do a blind challenge on either cheeseburgers or some fries or something that we think we know.
Dude, I would
line them up. We've got 5 or 6 different restaurants. You line them up, blindfold each of us, and we do a taste test to see if we can tell Burger King fries from McDonald's fries. Or
there's no way I get that wrong.
Let me tell you where you might stump me. Okay, this is where you might stump me on the cheeseburger challenge. Is the difference between a double cheeseburger and a McDouble. You might stump me there, but other than that, I would be money at all of them.
So that's a new video idea right there, boys.
Dude, I would crush that.
That's a good spot there for sure.
I would crush that. Don't be afraid of that.
Hey, do you boys have cookouts down there yet? I mean, it started up here, but has it moved that far south? I mean, Publix here, but do y'all have cookout?
What is that?
It's a cookout. It's a hamburger hot dog joint, basically drive-through, hand-spun milkshakes. It's really, really good.
There's one in Georgia where we get off the interstate to go to the lake.
Okay,
I've heard about it. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, Level, you'd be big fan.
I like it. All right, gentlemen, I think that's about all we got for tonight.
That's it.
Wow.
Don't forget to tune in for your bracket selection. I don't know if it's already happened or not. I think it has. Just got an alert on the phone.
Yes.
So there you go.
The done. Yeah.
Brackets have been selected. Go ahead and go log in. Click the link on Facebook. Follow that. It'll take you to Yahoo. Fill out your bracket. Not only could you win the big bracket with Yahoo, you might win something with us and win some merchandise. All right. So we will see you back here next week for our 52nd show running. We have not missed a lick. Some of us have missed a week or two on vacation, but 52 strong, boys. I'm proud of it right there. I'm proud of us right there. A full year doing this. We'll be back for that. Like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to let you know when we release our next video. We'll see you then. Good night.